Alright guys, so I read like 10 comic books trying to find you guys a comic to talk about. And I could not find a good comic. It ticked me off so much. I read some George R.R. Romano books, a couple other books. I just flipped through I was trying to find different genres, just reading a bunch of random things that I found, and all of them sucked. I was so mad. I hate when these people do these comic books and they do a really good cover and then you flip through it and it's like trash. It pisses me off more than anything else. It's kind of like the reason people are getting so mad at Marvel, because they're spending all this money on like Alex Ross covers, and then you get in it and it's like an Archie comic. You know what I mean? So I decided to go back to this set of books I had bought. I bought like 16 different comics from Alterna Comics. You can buy like a bundle. It's like $16, so it may be more. It felt like more than 16 comics. It just felt like a bunch of comics for 16 bucks, but it's all their number ones that they had at the time. And so I figured it'd be a good starting point for me to go through and read all their books. And just like I pointed out earlier, I like this because when you go to look, you can see exactly what genre it is. Action horror. Okay. Rated M. Okay. You know, when you were a kid and you bought a comic book or you bought a video game and it was rated M for mature, you're like, I'm such a bad A. I'm such a rebel. I'm gonna look at those triangle boobies on Tomb Raider. You know you were. But so this is Mother Russia. It's from Alterna Comics, and what they do is they do a bunch of random stories, and they pretty much have something for everyone. This is a 1 in 3 issue limited series, so they do a bunch of these, and if people still like them, they keep the story going. This is Mother Russia. It's about World War II, and I like the catchphrase. It says, "One baby, one rifle, 2 million zombies." Dun, dun, dun. So let's get started. Now, this whole book is black and white, so it kind of gives you the tone of the different books. At the same time, we have a bunch of these other books that you can get. So they make a bunch of different things. I read the Lilith Dark, and it was a kid's book, pretty much. Dark Philly has done a video on Croak, so go to her channel if you want to hear about that one. I kind of like this. I kind of like the cover on that bird lander. I might check that out. But so pretty much, this is Russia during World War II, the fall of 1943, and zombies have broke out. So the war is pretty much over in Stalingrad because it's just zombies. Everybody's zombies. And so you have this main character, and what they are is they're an ex-Russia soldier, and pretty much all she has to do all day long is sit in this tower and pop zombies. I mean, she can't leave, so that's pretty much all she has. And she has this set up here. I mean, she even has Stalin in the hanging up on the wall there. This is someone that took their job very seriously. It's chapter 1, No Better Friend, and the story and art by Jeff McComsey. So he did the whole thing. So she's popping zombies. She's obviously been there a long time, and it's starting to get to her because she has nothing else to do. She just works out, reads, and kills zombies, and then that's her day. So now it's pretty important right here, because when she starts her day, she wakes up and she just looks at that Stalin picture. That's what she has. So it motivates her. She gets going again and she's killing zombies. But today something different has happened. She's going to kill some zombies, and she spots a little boy. A poor little boy walking around in the zombies. So what does she do? She watches him. And he's just walking around. The zombies haven't really noticed him just yet, but then he falls and drops his little bunny. And you know what a kid does when they fall? They cry. And that's when it all broke out. So she had to stop him, had to try to defend him. She decides to jump down with her rope. I don't know how long that rope is, but she uses it to jump down. That's a pretty tall tower. She jumps down, she goes after the kid, saves the kid, but then she's, pretty much on her own. She's always got that 6-shooter pistol. So she's running away, and she gets trapped. So her only next outlet is to shoot the little kid and save him. But instead, they're saved by somebody else. They've got this dog that saves them, and then this man shows up. And the only thing I don't like is they have a little bit of cursing in here, which is not a whole lot, but at the same time I was like, you didn't really need it, because I mean it's not part of the tone, but whatever. So anyway, the only thing that I would say, well, I'll talk about it in a minute. Anyway, so they're running from the zombies. He's got a plan. He saves them, and then he locks the door behind them. And pretty much at that point, you get to where they're talking. They've run from the zombies. They're safe now. He has saved them. He says, you know, we're here now. And he says, if we hurry, we can get there before it's dark. But look at her face. Something's off about this girl. She knows something. And she says, this is an interesting accent you have there, comrade. Odessa with just a hint of Bavaria. So at that point, he says, very impressive. And then he says her name in Russian. And she says, you know who I am? He says, but of course, the sniper. Mother Russia. Everyone that stuck their head out from good cover knows who you are. So, she is Mother Russia. That is her nickname because she is such a famed sniper. So it's a quick little story. It's very fast paced. There's not a whole lot of dialogue. I mean, there's some pages, you know, where there's no dialogue at all. No talking. Because somebody said this other day, I can't remember what they said, but they said, show, don't say. I think that's what they said. Show, don't talk. Or something like that, to where you can show the imagery without having much discussion. And see, that's what I want to do in my new comic that I'm doing. I don't want to have a whole lot of talking. I want to have good imagery to show you exactly what's going on. I mean, do you need a whole lot of talking right here? You don't. So I would say this is a pretty good comic. I mean, it's not just fantastic. It's not Dark Knight's Metal, but I mean, this is a good fun comic, and it's $1.50. I mean, usually comics are $3.99 now. They're crazy high, and this one's $1.50. So I definitely suggest this one right here. It's great. It's a fun little comic. It has to do with history, but it throws in zombies. Who don't like zombies? So I really think you'll like this. And it's a very interesting story because now you have the dynamic of a German soldier and a Russian soldier having to work together during the zombie apocalypse. And I just noticed him smiling, which I think is really funny. But I also like the appearance of the little kid and the way that they did it, because it felt like a movie to me. Because when he's sitting there and he's looking around, you know, the little kid doesn't have anything, he doesn't know what to do, and then she sees him, and she does something very motherly. She goes to save him, which is something that a woman would do. They're empathetic. So I believe it. But anyway, definitely check this out. I'm going to do some more videos. I'm trying to think of other books that I'm going to do. You know, I have all these books pretty much that are number ones. I have The Chair. I have this one right here, Adam Reck. I already read Lilith Dark. It's a good kid's book. I don't know if I had these other ones. I haven't looked through all of them yet. But I definitely want to check that one out. I like that cover. Croak, as I said, Dark Philly's already talked about that on her channel, Dark Philly. So I don't really want to talk about that book too. I may do The Chair because everybody said it was such a good book, and they advertised the heck out of it. You also have The Fear Diaries, which looks kind of creepy. This one right here interests me. The 11 or the 12. I definitely want to check that one out. It just looks very interesting. I think it called it the 7 before, but it's the 12. I got my Roman numerals mixed up. I got my Roman numerals mixed up on the last video, and nobody called me on it, so it's all your fault. Yep. Y'all call me on everything else. Y'all call me a redneck and a hippie and all this kind of stuff, but you don't call me on my stuff, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's see, it says support your favorite comic shop. Find a local comics. So they have they have the list of the comic stores here that you can go to and buy from. And I'm really sad right now because there's one in Alabama, Kingdom Comics. Now, obviously, they're not counting Books A Million because Books A Million has these books. But all right, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you like this comic. It's kind of fast-paced, but it's because there's not a whole lot of talking. But they got some cool pictures here. The only thing I would say I disliked about this book is this book right here in itself is that there was some printing issues. Because if I go back to a couple of these pictures, they're really blurry. And I'm trying to find, yeah, a couple of them are blurry. They weren't printed just right. But that's excusable at $1.50. I mean, it would be bad if it was $3.99, but all right, guys, that's all I got. Talk to you guys later. I'll do some more videos later. Like I said, I read 10 books trying to find you some good books, and I ended up falling back on Alterna because they've been pretty solid. And I've got a bunch more of those to read, so I may just start talking about them. All right, talk to you guys later. Underground Geek out.